Hi guys, welcome back to Defi Daily. Today we're going to talk about a major risk, something that if it's happening can trigger a major downside, something that can be even worse than what we have seen until now. I'm not saying that it will happen because nobody can predict the future. We are not here to predict the future, but we are here in order to share what are the different possibilities, the different scenarios in order to be ready. Because nobody knows what will happen, but whatever it will happen, we need to be ready. So we will discuss about it together today. Just before to start, guys, remember if you enjoy this kind of content, remember to subscribe to the channel, to leave a big thumbs up and drop a comment. That's a just small effort for you, but really means a lot to us. So if you want to help us, please leave a big thumbs up. And always remember that this channel is about educational content and nothing has to be intended as financial advice. And it's not just about saying it because we have to say it, but that's the reality. Nobody can predict the future. So we are not here to give you any financial advice, but to share ideas, to share thoughts on what's happening into the market in order to improve your point of view and if possibly taking always better decisions. Okay guys, so let's start immediately. I want to start with this tweet, and this tweet is about the price of Ethereum. The same concept that applies to Ethereum applies to any other token or crypto, and I will explain to you what I mean in a moment. The point is that in the moment when the market is going down, the problem is not only related to the fact that we are losing money, because there is even a worse scenario. In a market where there are a lot of derivatives, a lot of leverage positions, in the moment when we trigger certain points, what will happen is that some major liquidation will start. And in the moment when a major liquidation will start, it can trigger a cascade of different kind of liquidation. And for each liquidation means that a certain amount of ETH or any other crypto will go to the market and will be sold. Obviously, the more tokens, the more cryptos are sold into the market, also deeper the downside will be. That's something that we should take in consideration because at this point, according to Parsec Finance, ETH has an important trigger at $1,150. This number can change according to the situation because obviously people that know that they are at risk of being liquidated can change the amount of collateral in order to protect their position. So don't take this number as the holy grail. That's something that is just an indication that in the moment when we are going down, there is the possibility at a certain point we touch this kind of zone, and in that moment, the worst scenario will start. What can happen? I want to show you something from a couple of months ago. This thread has been published at the end of April. In that moment, we had a user, Rush, that had a major position on Scream, a money market. He was lending several stable coins and he was triggering the liquidation price. And in that moment, something like 50 million of FTM came to the market, triggering obviously a major downside. In that moment, the price of FTM has gone down by more than 50% in just a couple of hours. And the point of this thread is trying to understand what will happen in case of this kind of liquidation event. And as you will see, some of the numbers are quite scary. And the main problem is that in this market situation, the amount of liquidations could be much higher. And also, as we will learn in a moment, that's one of the major problems at this point that is affecting the whole DeFi ecosystem. But let's have a look to these numbers. As you can see, he is trying to go through all the different layers one. In this case, he's talking about Ethereum, Terra, that is dead after that post, but that's another story. Binance Smart Chain, avax, and so on. I will not show you each of these tweets. You can retrieve them by yourself. I will leave also the link of this thread into the description below. What I want to show you is directly the summary in order to give you an overview on what are the real numbers. So this is the summary. As you can see, these are the numbers of what will happen in case of a sellout around of 50 million. Don't take these numbers again as the holy grail, because that's not the point. Numbers can change according to the liquidity there is inside each protocol in that moment. Not to mention that not all the protocols are always easy to check, because not all are tracked by the different tools and so on. But this is just giving us an overview. Because in case of a sellout, for example, of 50 million on Solana, a major downside of around 30% will happening in the immediate moment after that kind of sellout. And it can reach almost 60% in the moment when we are talking about Matic. Avax will be around 30%, Arbitrum another 30%, CRO, so Kronos Chain, again 30%, and so on. So as you can see, in the moment when happenings like this one are going live, so they are happening for real, in that moment, this cascade of liquidation can crush the price much lower than where we are. And the main problem why we have this kind of downside, this kind of consequences, is due to the low liquidity that there is in the market. Because remember, higher is the liquidity, much more money are into the industry, much more stable is the price. We are loving the fact that a token, a crypto, can go up by 100 times, but on the other side, we need to be aware that is enough, a small trigger, just a couple of millions, over 100 million, something like that, but an amount of money that is not so huge, something that many people are having it available. And this amount of money can trigger a major downside, crushing the whole market. And as you can see, the liquidity inside the DeFi ecosystem has gone down by a lot, around 70% in the last couple of months, and it is still going down. And the lower is the liquidity inside an ecosystem, also easier is for the price to dump. And this is something that we should be aware. For example, if we try to check what happened into the past, the reason why we had into the previous bear markets downside that were around 99% is because there were a lot of low liquidity. And the problem is exactly the same still now. Yes, the ecosystem has grown, but right now we are having not only decentralized exchange, but we have all of this DeFi ecosystem that can trigger, that can amplify the consequences of a single crash. I'm showing this chart because I want to help you to understand that even if right now it looks like a tragedy what happened because the price is down by so much, remember that the price can go even farther. For example, right now we are around 75% down by the previous max. But remember that in the previous bear market, Ethereum has gone down by 94%. I want to take also another example. In this case, I'm talking about Komodo, that were a token that many people were talking about into the previous cycle. And from the top to the minimum, the downside was around 97%. And in order to help you understand what does it mean 97%, I want to use, for example, the case of Polkadot. I'm not using it because it applies to Polkadot, but just because the chart is a good chart to apply this kind of analysis. Let's take, for example, from this chart, how much are we down right now? We are around 88%. So you can say, my God, it is the bottom. 90% downside is a lot. Not to mention that the feeling is that, okay guys, if we go from 88 to 97, there is not so much different. But let's try to figure it out. What will be the real price if the price of DOT goes down by 97%? As you can see, if we go down by 97%, the price will be, in this case, I'm just stopping at 96.5. And in that case, the price would be lower than 1.9. So it means another 80 to 90% from where we are right now. So yes, it looks like that 88% downside is quite close to a 97 downside. The reality is that between these two numbers, there is another 80 to 90%. So it means that the price from the level that it is right now can go down by another 80-90%. So I'm telling you this because I want to invite you, don't rush things, try to understand what's going on right now and take your time. Because we have seen into the past that this kind of situation can go even farther. Even if the price has gone down by 90%, it can go even more down with another 80-90%. Not to mention that this kind of liquidation events can literally cause some kind of flash crash. That's a possibility. The problem with flash crashes is that if you don't have any leverage position, you are fine. You will see simply the price, the value of your portfolio going down, and after that going up again. The point is that many people are having opened leverage positions. In that case, a flash crash can destroy everything, can literally wipe out your position, and you will not have any other opportunity to take advantage from the upside, from the bounce that usually it is happening after a flash crash. So what I'm saying right now is, guys, be aware. First of all, the market can go much farther, just a 90% of down. Secondly, the liquidation event is something that can happen and can be triggered also on Ethereum, causing a downside that could be much greater than what we have seen. For example, in this case, we have seen the effect of a 50 million sellout, and as you can see, the result is quite massive. And final, and probably most important thing, guys, don't be over leveraged into this market condition. It is much better to stay safe than be overexposed. Use leverage only if you are for real a pro trader. In that case, that's beautiful because you can make a lot of money, because during this kind of flash crashes, these are the opportunities where you are making more money, but you need to have the skills to manage this kind of market condition. So guys, stay safe, don't rush anything. Better time will come, but remember that the bottom, it is possible that it's not so close yet. Guys, let me know what do you think about a possible liquidation event on Ethereum. Do you think that it will happen? How much will be the bottom of ETH, Bitcoin, and the altcoins that you are following? And yes, guys, we will see again tomorrow. Remember, guys, if you enjoy this content, leave a big thumbs up, drop a comment, and if you're new to the channel, remember also to subscribe. Guys, thank you for following me, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.